Good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. Today is Monday, February 10th. And I sat down a little later today, so I have not gotten any trades in yet. So just starting to look at what we got going on in the market here. See that on the 15, we are bullish. Bullish on the 5. We did have this little dip under the confirmation line here on the 5. Just before 7 a.m. Central Time this morning. That might be a precursor to what's to come here. Could go into, sometimes that's a little warning of things to come. Why is it not letting me grab my, that's weird. Oh. Do I not have the right thing selected? What is going on? See this one, this one I can drag around. This one, it won't let me drag. It just drags the chart. That's very weird. That one too. All right. Let me restart TradingVIew. Already starting with problems today. Excuse me. What in the world? I still can't drag that around. I've never seen that happen before. Hey, K. John, good morning. I'm trying to drag around this little call out here. Oh, it's locked. Is that what's going on? Let's see. Yes. Why is it locked? There we go. What about this one? Is this one locked? Oh, that one's not locked. This one locked? Yeah, that one's locked too. The gremlins are in my TradingVIew this morning. All right. Now I could drag those around. All right. So as I was saying, 15 is bullish. The 5, we had this little dip under the confirmation line. Sometimes that's a little precursor of what's to come. So if there's a move right after that, a lot of times it's not sustained and it'll kind of piddle out and roll over. And that's kind of what we're seeing right here. It pushed up, it took out this high, and now it already came back to take out this low. And you guys know what that means. That means this is a broadening formation. So now that this low got taken out, we could start putting that in there. And on the 1 minute, we're now under that confirmation line. So I'm currently looking for a short. Hey, Jason, good morning. And if you look back on this lower high, that little red triangle that printed right here on the 1, we did have bearish divergence on that. So not only did it take out that high, we had bearish divergence. So if I would have seen that, I probably would have shorted that right there. That was at 8:05. I was still trying to get things up and running at that point. On the 5 minute, little bearish divergence on the 5 minute as well. And on the 3. As far as the overnight goes, it looks like we were just kind of chopping sideways for the most part in there. We had a little bit of a grind up and then just kind of a grindy chop to the downside a little bit. You can see it all in the delta. Delta's really thin throughout all that. And then things pretty much turned on as soon as the New York 7 o'clock candle. I'm sorry, my 7 o'clock candle. Then I label that as the start of the New York session. That's this orange box right here. Things started to get a little bit better in there. Let's check out the news for today. No news? There we go. Now the news loaded in. Looks like pretty much nothing today. And tomorrow, Fed Chair Powell testifies at 9 a.m. That'll be interesting to see if that jostles the market at all. Oh, and over the weekend, guys, I added a new feature to the trading timer. So last week we were checking out the 15-second and the 30-second time frames. And I told you guys that I was going to go ahead and add that to the trading timer. So I went ahead and did that. So now if you want to trade the 30-second chart, you have an option here. And you can also select an interval all the way down to 5 seconds. So if you want to be alerted 5 seconds before the candle closes, see the timer changes up there. Once it gets to 5 seconds, you get the little bell icon and the little audio to alert you. Same thing with the 15-second. And it might be kind of annoying to have all of those little audio notifications go off. So I also added this option to put none in here. So if you just didn't want to hear anything, excuse me, and you just wanted to stare at the candle countdown, you can just go ahead and flip that to none. And it'll be peace and quiet. All right. So let's go back to the chart here. Hey, Jay Waz. Good morning. Oh, also, guys, I went back in some of my live recordings, and I noticed that my volume on my microphone seemed to be down. Like, if I watch other YouTube videos, they always tend to be, they sound a little bit louder than mine. So I adjusted some of my microphone settings, and I kicked them up just a little bit. So if something doesn't sound right, or if it sounds like I'm clipping or anything like that, let me know, and I'll put them back down. But I thought it could use a little bit of a boost. Looks like now we're pushing down from that broadening formation. Back to the 200 down there. Good morning, G2. Yeah, that divergence, I wish I was paying more attention there. That would have been a good trade. So the entry would have been right there. It also closed under the 8 on that same candle. There's 80 ticks right there, and there's 125. That would have been great. I'm going to let the dog out quick. We still have that delta heading to the downside. Looks like we're underneath on the 3 now. I'm going to go ahead and flip the 3 to bearish. The 5-minute is getting closer to crossing down. And we have the open coming up in about 3 minutes. Big news week, JWaz. What other news we got? My timer only looks back on today's news and tomorrow's news. It doesn't really go beyond that. So I am not aware of any other news. Looks like we're back inside this broadening formation. CPI and PPI. Reminds me of Sleepy Eye from Little House on the Prairie. Did you guys ever watch Little House on the Prairie? Sleepy Eye, CPI, PPI. You know, that's actually supposed to be here in Minnesota. I've never been to Sleepy Eye. I'm going to put a limit order in here for a short. See if I can get tagged in here. I know we got the open in 30 seconds. So I might be playing with fire a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and cancel that since I almost got picked up. I was trying to get tagged in on that high right there. That would have tagged me in there on the open, but if I got tagged in earlier, I was going to move to break even quick. Our ATR is sitting here at a 27, so it's not very high. Not yet, anyway. Looks like that limit order on that high would have been pretty good so far. K. John, you don't remember Sleepy Eye? When Charles, he used to go to Sleepy Eye a lot to like get supplies and things. It's like a little town. Does that even exist? I think it does. Yeah, Sleepy Eye, Minnesota. It is a small town. Not too far away from me. But you know, the whole show was filmed in California, so it was a little deceiving. They had like rolling hills and mountains and stuff, I think, in the show. We don't really have that here. All right, pushing down here. Getting a tick down underneath this delta. Looks like that could be a decent short. Went ahead and went short there. From 750 to 34. A tick down under a falling delta is usually not a bad short. However, this particular one was in the green zone, so it's a little borderline. And we're getting a choppy delta here. Getting a higher low tick up from that, from the green zone. So I'm going to have to pull it if we close like this. All right, I am out. Minus 14 points on that. Those trades right after the open are tricky. So that is 4 contracts at minus 14. That's minus 56. Yeah, Jason, I grew up on all of those myself. Little House, Leave It to Beaver, Andy Griffin, Dennis the Menace, My Three Sons. How many others were there? Lassie, Mr. Ed. Oh yeah, Donna Reed, that was a good one. Bewitched, yep. All the youngsters here probably have no idea what we're talking about. I'll let the dog back in. Leave It to Beaver? Did we? Yeah, we mentioned Leave It to Beaver. Lassie? Did I say Lassie? Yeah, then in the 80s, the A-Team, Knight Rider, Dukes of Hazzard. Um, uh, what was the helicopter show? Oh yeah, Mr. T. Um, gosh, what was that? The black helicopter, the attack helicopter. I have a model of it in the garage actually. What was that called? Airwolf. Yes, Airwolf. I have a model of Airwolf. Did you know that most of those scenes that they were filmed with a model? My dad used to be, he was a RC enthusiast, I guess you would say, back in the 80s. He worked for 3M, and 3M had a RC club, and he was president of the RC club. And so growing up, he had, our whole basement was like full of model airplanes, and he had a helicopter. And I don't know where he got it, but he got like the actual model, like fuselage from the show, the helicopter. And he had these big plans to build it into like a actual functioning model that he could fly. And he never got around to getting it done. So I have it. And I never got around to getting it done either. Yeah, Magnum PI, Hawaii 5.0. Can't forget the Brady Bunch either. My youngest, my 6-year-old, she's into the Brady Bunch right now. She's been watching it like back to back for the last few days. She got into that when she was sick last week. Brady Bunch is still a good show. Yeah, Nick at Night. Is that still a thing? I used to watch Nick at Night all the time. Yeah, all those reruns. Well, it would appear that we are going up here. We are ticking up above a rising delta. So I just went long there. It's a little riskier being in the red zone. And we just took out this high. Hopefully we can continue pushing through there. There we go. Now we're getting a little push. Right up at that broadening formation. A little higher. We'll take 2 contracts off. There we go. There's 2 contracts off. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Gonna go ahead and move my stop to break even. Next, we're shooting for 125. Running into a little bit of resistance here at that broadening formation line. Will it be able to chug through that? And just hit my break even on those last two contracts. Figures. I should have probably just taken more off at that yellow line, but I was trying to push it. Or what I should have done is taken some off right there at that tick down in that power zone. That was actually an up close candle, and that was at 846. So then I would have been out right there. Anyhow, still a winner. That is the nice thing about moving over to these partial profits, is that even if it doesn't quite hit your max target, you still end up with a winner. That part I do enjoy. Looks like it's trying to push back to the lows over here. One end of the broadening formation to the other. We are getting a short signal on the 3 and the 5. Not confirmed yet, but they are flashing. Delta squeeze on the 3. Yeah, it's not a very clean one, but it technically is, yeah. Yeah, so your entry would have been at 2177 or 777.50 or 777.75. That was the 3-minute Delta squeeze entry. I just went short on that wick right there at 779.25. So knowing that the 5 and the 3 are in a delta squeeze short, that's why I'm trying to get a good entry on the 1. It's really just kind of chopping in here, though. All right, I pulled it because we closed above the 8 there. I wanted that to be a wick and to stay a wick. If it's not going to be a wick, I'm not interested. So I'm out for 5 points on that one. Four contracts at 5 points. Brings this to minus 76. Looks like the entries and exits would have been great just playing these yellow lines here. Going long on the bottom and going short on the top. So, earlier I said this is technically a delta squeeze, but it's not clean. What I meant by that is, like on the 3, it's like, yeah, you got an overall downslope, but in the immediate short term, you have a positive slope. So ideally, you want it to be more of a consistent slope to the downside when you get that signal. So the fact that you have a little bit of a discrepancy there, it's just not it's not ideal. Put it that way. Okay. We still have a falling delta. If we tick down under this falling delta in the red zone, I might jump back into a short. So far, it's not giving us that, though. And we have the 9 o'clock candle. It's going to roll over here in 2 minutes. Very choppy delta so far today. Delta's trying to turn up here. It's like back to the top of the Browning formation we go. The bulls are winning this tug of war. Delta candles are getting big and fat now. Falling off again at the top of this formation. We did take this high, so technically we could go all the way back down here. If we get a setup for it. Well, the 5 and the 3 are now, looks like we're going back above the confirmation line, so those are going to flip bullish again. There she goes. Starting to get a little expansion now. We just hit our average daily range, which was at 21,824. Sorry, guys, just responding to a work email here. Okay. All right, back to the chart. Looks like we have some nice, strong, fat, consistent deltas here. It's a good sign for the bulls. Still couldn't really find a clean entry in that, though. This was all kind of just a little bit of a mess there. Got a limited order in here to go long. See if I can snag a ride, but we'll see if I can get picked up. The delta's still strong, which is why I'm trying to jump on the train. I was thinking about trying to catch a ride on the 8. It already touched the 8 right here, but instead I'm going for this lower wick over here. I just got tagged in. 21.8, 28.50. Getting real close to my first target here. There we go. There's 2 contracts off at 80. Move my stop to break even now. And next target, 125. How is Bitcoin doing today? Kind of moving up here. Looks like we made it to 98,276 and pulling back a little bit. You know, over the weekend, I was going to do a new video on how to automate a watch list because TradingVIew came out with a new feature that allows you to add alerts on a watch list instead of on specific instruments. And so whatever instrument you add to the watch list, if you add an alert on it for any custom indicator, it will go through and send you alerts on whatever is in the watch list. Anyway, I was super excited about that because right now with TOMMYBOTS, I have to create separate alerts for each instrument, which requires a lot of alerts. And so if you want to make a change to your bots, it can literally take all day long to go through all of your stuff and reconfigure alerts for each one, right? But with the watch list, you can configure one set of alerts. And if you want to make a change, you just make the one little change right there. And if you want to add instruments to the list, you just add them to the list. And if you don't want to automate a certain instrument, you just remove it from the list. Super easy, right? Well, I went through and I started to configure things and got things ready to run a video or record a video. And after I created 2 alerts, I went to create the 3rd alert, and I got this big box that popped up that says you must upgrade your account. So apparently, TradingVIew only allows 2 alerts on your watch list, even though I'm on the premium plan, which I think is pretty stingy of them to only allow 2. And even if you upgrade to the expert plan, you're only allowed 10 alerts. Well, on one of my bots, I can easily have 25 alerts on one bot. So even with the expert plan, I still wouldn't be able to automate an entire watch list with one of my bots, which is pretty disappointing. It's positive that they came out with that feature, so I know it's possible. It's just they're limiting the number of alerts that you can put on it. So I wrote them and I asked them if there's any way I could just add, you know, more alerts to my account. I'm pretty sure they're going to say no. But if for some reason they would allow that, then I'd be a happy camper. But until then, it looks like it's not going to happen. So I just have to go back to doing things the way that I'm used to doing them. Configuring separate alerts on each instrument. All right, what's going on here? We went all the way up to this pivot line. And those pivot lines amaze me all the time. You know, when I'm that close to it, I probably should just go ahead and move my take profit there instead. Well, we'll see if we get it here. My 125 tick TP is sitting up here at 859.75. Looks like we might be gearing up to get it. Delta's still positive. It's thin, but it's positive. It's still pointed up. So I don't really have an exit signal to get out. the moment. Well, might have one now. Couldn't quite make it up there to 125 ticks. We're getting a tick down. We're seeing exhaustion in the delta. So if we close like this, I'm going to pull the plug for smaller profit. Profit's profit though, right? All right, I'm out. So those last two contracts, I got 10 3/4 on those. So that brings this to 4 and this to 2150. Of course, right after I get out. It's a big candle, and that would have got me. Yep, that would have got it. Darn, market always pushes me to my breaking point. Teamaker and Kramer have something in common? What's that? Does the opposite of what they do. You know, and it had lots of opportunity to get up there, and it just wouldn't do it. That's all right. There will be more. Time to get a refill. If Teammaker closes a trade, we enter. There you go. Hey, there's some bearish divergence here. That looks like a decent short, actually. I'm not going to do it, though. The 5 and the 3 are still too strong. And the 15. Do have bearish divergence on that lower high though, so I might have a little pullback here. So JWaz, you know how I was asking you over the weekend where you get your earnings reports, because I want to add those to the trading timer. So I was looking around for data API where I can pull the earnings information through code like into the trading timer directly. And that way, right next to the candle countdown, it will not only show you the high impact news events, but it should also show you high impact earnings releases. And I found a place that provides that data, but they want like $100 a month just to pull data from the API. So I don't know if I don't know if it's worth $100 a month, but do you guys think that would be cool to have that in the trading timer? I mean, maybe if I start, maybe if I charged for the trading timer, then we could pay for it. But $100 a month is kind of steep for that, in my opinion. To have a little bit of a delta squeeze going on here on the 1. Does go against the 5 and the 3 though. So I'm gonna put handcuffs on my hand so I don't push the button. I want to short that, but not gonna do it. Anyhow, about the earnings data, that would be cool to have it in there. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. Technically, I could make it happen. It's just a matter of paying for it. JWaz says, push it. It's still marching up. That delta's, it's just flat now. It's consistent and flat on the one. So probably not the best thing to try to trade against. Flashing another lower high on there. Still just grinding up here. Raberstein, I'm wondering who's so bullish at these NQ levels. It doesn't feel like it makes a whole lot of sense. I'm with you on that. And you know, you could tell like it's not going up very easily. It's more of a grind. And usually when you see that, once it does break to the downside, it could be pretty hard. So I would not go long here, personally. I think it's probably a matter of being patient. And a short setup will hopefully develop. What I really want to see is I want to see this delta start to get a negative slope, and I want it to be negative. And then I want to see the signal do something like that. Then I'll go short. Jason, 847 was the re-entry. 847. Yeah, right here. Yep. Yeah, just as I pulled the plug on that, it shot right through that level. I still have a feeling it's going to fall apart here pretty soon. That 8 SMA has been holding the whole time. So maybe once we get a break under the 8 and a close under the 8, that could potentially be the start of it falling apart. You have 890 as a level. Suppose I should probably zoom out and see what's going on. Oh, yeah. All right. We got an order block here that is bound to show some resistance on the 15-minute. Let's go to the 5. On the 5-minute, it's looking more like this. We do got a fair value gap in here, so as soon as we touch that 15-minute order block, that could be the top. And that I have at 905.50 or 905. And on the hourly, we have an order block right here, which we've already tapped into. So could just be a matter of time. Might end up getting a close under the 8 here. I do see some exhaustion in the delta. It's starting to creep in. Got a limit order to go short on the 8. And I just got tagged in. 21,874.50. Still trying to push up here. So we pulled back to the 20. I didn't really wait for a proper short setup there. I saw the delta exhaustion and I went for it on the 8. A little more aggressive, but get this one more little chance here. Oh, she's still trying to climb. All right, I'm going to have to pull it. I'm out. $10.25 on that one. You could see that little spot right there where the delta was exhausted. I was trying to get in a little early on that. Looks like I was too early. We had the close under the 8 and the pullback to the 8. What I probably should have done was just exit right on this next candle that it barely closed back above the 8. It's usually a sign. That way you could keep your losers small. JC, you traded the market open last night? Got the gap fill and went and watched the game. How about that game, huh? Were you rooting for the Eagles or the Chiefs? We were all rooting for the Eagles over here. I think we've seen the Chiefs win enough. I was kind of hoping that the Chiefs weren't going to score at all. Just have a complete shutout. That would have been kind of fun. Okay. This is still looking kind of heavy to me. We're still just kind of grinding up, but it doesn't want to fall apart yet. Did I see gold today? I have not looked at gold. Let's see. What's gold doing? Doesn't look like it's doing too much, but this looks like it would have been a decent short over here. About to get another close under the 8 here. Is this it? More exhaustion in the delta. I'm going to give it another shot. If it'll pick me up. Had a little wager on the Eagles. Went with the mantra. Offense sells tickets. Defense wins championships. Yep. Well, gosh darn it, guys. I think I missed this one. I was asking for a discount again on the 8. Should have just went with the candle close, I guess. You could tell it's like it's heavy. It's struggling to go up. Maybe I'll still get the 8 here. Delta's exhausted. The 3-minute is thinning out. The 5 still looks kind of thick. Jason, I should have sold my level. If I have a blue line on my chart, it's for a reason, even if I can't remember why. That was at 890. Was it 894 you called? 890. 890. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate right there. All right, we'll see if we get a new setup here. Flashing a tick up from this lower power zone, but we got the delta crossing under the confirmation line. So, I don't know. I'm not really interested in taking that long here. I'm more interested in a short setup if we can get it. Plus, you know, we're on this hourly order block. Might just need that 5-minute to catch up. I wonder if TradingVIew has wrote me back yet in my support ticket. Yes, they have written me back 6 minutes ago. Sorry, just wondering if there's an entry here. We're getting a higher low. I know we just crossed under the confirmation line, but this could be a long here. I'm giving it a shot. I just went long there at 874.28. It's kind of a, I wasn't really interested in going long here, but with the higher low and the delta as thin as it is, usually that ends up working out, but I guess not. That's going against me right away, right off the bat here. We're still above the 50. We're still technically bullish here. But instant rejection so far. All right. I just pulled it at break even. Of course, it had to do that little thing. I guess I'll just continue waiting for the short. Is it really going to go up now? This is basically like our third or second higher low. And of course, we got our broadening formation here on this. So we going back up to the high. Anyway, let's see what TradingVIew said to me. James B at TradingVIew says, hello, thanks for getting in touch. Kindly note that the watch list alert feature offered 5 active alerts during beta testing mode. Right now, as the feature is finally official, our team has reconsidered the limit and decided on the final 2 active watch list alerts for premium users. In order to get more, you can upgrade your plan to expert or premium. I'm already on premium. We're always working to improve and really appreciate your feedback. Kind regards. Okay, that's pretty much what I was expecting to hear. That sucks. All I want is 25 alerts on a watch list. That's all I want. And then I can do everything I need to do. All right, this could be my short setup here. We got our delta cross on the confirmation line. We got our signal that went down to the green zone. We're back in the red zone. If we get a tick down here, that's my cue. I would prefer if it's up near the power zone, but I'll still take it if it ticks down here. All right, I'm short. I'm short from 21.876.59 on average. We'll say 50. It's still one of my favorite setups. If there was only one setup that I had to trade, that would be it. Market pulling back to the 8 SMA. Hopefully that's as high as it's going to go here. Let's go ahead and move to break. Well, I guess I won't move to break even yet. A lot of times when I do that, I get wicked out and then I regret it. There we go. Now we're looking better. Where's the VWAP in all this? all the way down here at 21,757.50. That'd be pretty cool if we could go all the way down there. Stops are at break even. There's 2 contracts off. See if we can hit 125. Market just doesn't want to drop. I got my stops a little bit in the profit here, so even if I get hit, it'll still be a full winner. Well, not a full winner, but not a loser, put it that way. Come on, push back down. Got a choppy thin delta going on now too. Something to keep in mind. All right. Now let's sell off. Let's finish it off. No? Market doesn't want to. And I'm out. So those other 2 contracts, I only got 2 points on them. So it moves to 10, and this moves to 25.50. Hey, I'm lucky I got 80 on that one for the first 2 contracts. Looks like that was to the tick. You know, it's a lot easier to hit 80 than it is 125. Wonder what the numbers would look like if I just moved all my contracts to 80. At least when the ATR is low, maybe. Well, we could just get another short setup here. Because keep in mind, we are still have a weak delta that's under the confirmation line. So any red zone tick down should be fair game. We are flashing a tick down here. Got about 15 seconds. All right, I'm short again. It was an up close candle, but a tick down is a tick down. So 21,871.25 is where I'm in. Somebody loves me a lot. What do you mean? Did something happen? Now we're looking better. Almost to our first target. They were bombing the chat with hearts. I don't see any hearts. Where do you see that? I guess I don't know how the YouTube chat works. If somebody hits this heart button, does it just go up and then disappear? There's some hearts. I'm seeing hearts. Where are they going, though? They don't stick? Well, we almost hit 80 there, so I'm going to go ahead and move my stops to break even. All right, now I'm totally risk off. kind of a grind here, but hey, if it wants to keep going down 80 ticks and then go back up and set up again for another 80, I'm fine with that. I can do that over and over again. Be my guest. There we go. There's 2 contracts off. Can we hit 125? Market seems kind of lethargic today. It just doesn't really want to go anywhere. Yet. We'll see if it gets moving after it hits 125 here. We got the anchored VWAP sitting down here at the 200, about 815. That'd be a nice conservative target. This yellow trend line here also might act as support. did just get a power zone tick up here. That's the most conservative place to take profit. I'm going to still try to push it a little bit. Looks like that was probably a bad idea. Now we're pushing up already. But yeah, this power zone tick up right there. Not a bad place to take profit. My stop is just above that wick right there. Almost got wicked out. I'm going to go ahead and move my target down to this 200 down here. 818.50. And I just got taken out. I moved my stop down above this wick right here, and I just got tagged out for the other two contracts. So I made 8.25 on those. Profit is profit, I guess, but still would have been better off taking them all off at 80. I still wonder if maybe I should just start doing that. K. John waiting on 24 EMA to catch up. Currently rising at 21.811. 811, that's down here. It's kind of near the anchored VWAP. I know we're not in the red zone anymore, but this tick down near the center line might be a good short. So I might have to jump back in here. All right, I'm short now. At 855.50. Be nice to see some follow through in some of these moves. See what happens in 2 minutes. That was 3 minutes ago. I know there's a little delay here in the stream, right? And we got that thin delta again. Come on, bears, push her down. It's looking a little better. Getting close to my 80, so I'm going to go ahead and move to break even. Jason says if we lose this support, she's gone. Well, hopefully it doesn't hit my break even first. Uh-oh. My quant tower just froze. Candles aren't moving. Which is weird because my trading timer's moving, but the candles aren't. So I can't tell if I'm still in this trade or not. Quant Tower usually does not do this. This is kind of weird. What is going on? I still have no idea if I'm in this trade. I mean, technically, I should have broke even. So we'll see if when it comes back online, if it took me out or not. I'm kind of hoping that it did not take me out because it's going in my favor. Are things working on your end, you guys? Mine is just froze. Hmm. Still froze over here. I'm going to see if I can reboot it. Well, before I do that, let's see if I can load Rhythmic Trader Pro, because if that doesn't load, then it's something with the data provider. Yeah, Rhythmic Trader Pro is not loading either. So I don't think it's Quantower. Yeah, still not loading. Oh, well, that's a little nerve-wracking when you're in a trade. Nothing. I mean, technically, I should be out of this trade if my stops worked because I had them at break even. But Quantower is still showing me as if I'm in the trade, but nothing's moving. Looks like we're getting another little rejection off the 50 there. So hopefully she just keeps moving down. And then by the time this comes back up, I'll be sitting kind of nice. Hopefully. Wishful thinking. Rhythmic Trader Pro is still not loading for me. This account that I'm trading right now is an Apex account, so I wonder if it's an issue with Apex. It's like no announcements in the Apex Discord. Reopen doesn't work. Not for RTrader Pro, no. So if RTrader Pro won't open, then Quantower restarting that's probably not going to do anything either. I'll try it. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. We'll see. Quantower won't even close. It probably has to do some sort of handshake with the server first, and it can't even do that. All right, now it finally closed. So we'll try to reopen it and see what happens. My guess is it won't even be able to load up here if it can't connect. David said lots of people having the same problem with Rhythmic. Really? Okay. Yeah, it's Quantower is up. It's trying to connect to Rhythmic, but nothing is happening. David, those people that you're referring to, do you know if they're with Apex or a different broker? Well, looks like I would have almost hit 80 ticks right there, or maybe hit it. Can't really tell. Looks like it's on the end of that wick. Apex for you too. Are you in a trade? Well, at least you're not in a trade like I am. Still nothing. All right, well. Not much I can do about that, I guess. So I guess I'll use this opportunity to take a bathroom break. Still nothing. Our Trader Pro won't load. Quantower still hanging. Well, it could be worse. The price could be somewhere up here. At least it is in profit so far. Might not last all that long here. Well, they better fix it quick, because looks like it's going to start turning bullish here pretty soon. We got a tick up on the 3 from the lower power zone. The 5-minute is getting close. Ay, ay, ay. So is there anywhere to go to let them know that there's an issue? I'm sure they know, but you know, their Discord is kind of shut down, so you can't really comment. Maybe their Facebook page. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of other comments here. My Rhythmic won't open and NinjaTrader locked with orders. What should I do? And this other guy says, is NT8 down? I was in a trade and it froze and it won't connect. Well, I'd be losing money now. Looks like she's ready to go back up. Now I'm at least getting an error message. It says login failed. Please contact administrator. It didn't say that before. How long has it been now? Let's see. Looks like almost a half hour. Well, what else should we do? Take a look at Bitcoin again. Wow, Litecoin is really rocketing. It's up 12.6%. Almost had this one. If this tick up would have been a little bit lower underneath that dotted line, I would have been in. Right there. That would have been about 12.5%. Still nothing with Apex. It'll be interesting to see what happens when it comes back up. So, yeah, do you guys think it would have got me out of my break even where my stops were? Curious about that. Or do you think I'm going to get wrecked? Yeah, well, oh, yeah, I suppose inside the Apex account, there's a flatten in there too. I guess I didn't even think of that. Hey, it just loaded. Let's load Quant Hour. See if that can come back. Well, the good news is, well, I was going to say, if my stop was like way up here, I would still be at break even currently. But I moved my stop to break even a long time ago before this even happened. So technically, it should have got me out of my trade at my break even. Still don't know because Quant Tower's still trying to come up. It still won't work. So yeah, something's still screwed up. Login failed.
Please contact the FCM/IB who issued your login ID. I never made it that far, Jason. Let's see. I don't see an option to flatten in here. Oh, it says open RTrader Pro positions window and close orders from there. Well, the problem is my RTrader Pro won't even open now. So, looks like I'm just kind of screwed at the moment. Hey, at least the price is going down. I guess that's the bright side. You know, had everything been working correctly, I would have shorted this tick down from the upper power zone since the delta is still under the falling confirmation line. Looks like that would have been a good trade. It's just too bad we can't trade it. Yeah, nothing's working for me either. RTrader Pro pulled up for like a quick second and then it wouldn't work. Tried changing the server to Europe. Did that work for you? Oh, something's happening. Quant Tower says I'm connected, but nothing's displaying. I did not change the server, by the way. I still use Chicago. So it must be in the process of coming back up. So I can't see the chart, but I can see my last buy order on here, which should have been my stop. It says 21,854.75. 854.75. Okay. So yeah. So it did get me out. It did get me out at my break even. Sweet. Apparently. I mean, that's what it appears. Yeah, it says all my contracts sold at that price. And it sold it at, let's look at the date and time, at 10:36 in 10 seconds. 10:36 and 10, yeah, that would have been right here. So, looks like everything still worked. Thank goodness. It's still not back up for me, though. My chart is not loading in Quant Tower. It's like half up. I can see my account data, but I can't see any charts. And I don't have any way to place a trade. Schroden, I keep seeing news orgs spell Doge as lowercase Doge, like they don't know it's an acronym. And perhaps they think Trump put the crypto coin in charge of government efficiency analysis. I could see people believing that. Hey, what do you know? We made it all the way to the anchored VWAP. That's where I was saying would be a conservative target. All right. Well, you know what, guys? I think the fact that that Apex is having issues, and now that I know that I am out of that trade and I'm safe, I still have 85 points for the day. I think I'm just going to call it here, let Apex sort out whatever's going on, and come back to it later, see if things are a little better. So I would not recommend trading if Apex is not working, if you guys are trading Apex accounts. Anyway, if you guys continue trading, good luck. We will see you either later today or tomorrow. Alrighty. Peace out.
I said certified trend, watch that V-Bot stick. Trade so clean, got my profits real thick. Yeah, I use that VWI, volume weighted, that's the map. Hit my levels, never cap, big green candles, watch them stack. I'm in the zone, got my setup tight. VWL bouncing, entry right. Big lot size, no scalper life. Trend is strong, I hold all night. Market open, watch the tape, liquidity gon' set my fate. If it holds, I let it ride. If it breaks, I cut with pride. Midday chop, I step aside. Wait for trend and not decide. Be drove by magnet, price aligns. Catch that dip, now watch it climb. Yeah, I use that view get, volume weighted, that's the map. Trend confirm, I let it clap. Catch that move, no looking back. The mode is shift, I see it clean. Delta rising, bulls and steam. Volume high, trend is mean. New day high, that's routine. Market's wild, stay composed. Bounce, I double dose. Risk is tight, reward is vast. Let it run, no exit fast. Pre-market plan already set. If it's weak, then short's the bet. Buy is strong, but I'll adapt. Trade what's real, don't get trapped. No emotions, risk defined. Vobo telling me it's time. Big green candles, money stacked. Trade that volume, never lack. Market open, watch the tape. Liquidity gon' set my fate. If it hold it, he gon' set my fate. If it holds, I let it ride. If it breaks, I cut with pride. Midday chop, I step aside. Wait for trend, then I decide. Market open, watch the tape. Liquidity gon' set my fate. If it holds, I let it ride. If it breaks, I cut with pride. Midday chop, I step aside. Wait for trend, then I decide. Why day chop, I step with pride. Midday chop with pride. Midday chop, I step aside. Wait for trend, then I decide. Vibe by magnet, price aligns. Catch that dip, now watch it climb. No emotions, risk defined. Robo telling me it's time. Big green candles, money stacks. Trade that volume, never lack. Never lack. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, yeah. Look hack, momentum shift, I see it clean. Delta rising, bulls in steam. Volume high, trend is mean. New day high, that's routine. Market's wild, stay composed. Vow bounce, I double dose. Risk is tight, reward is vast. Let it run, no exit fast. Pre-market plan already set. If it's weak, then short's the bet. Buy it strong, but I'll adapt. Trade what's real, don't get trapped. Vibes keeps me sane. Baseline price, it runs the game. Overextended, I refrain. Wait for retest, then I claim. No emotion, hits get fine. Baseline price, it runs the game. Overextended, I refrain.